right now seems to me to be as good a time as any to take a minute and talk about how grateful I am because I don't want that to be overlooked. Let's have a conversation. I don't do this often. I don't, but I want to have a conversation with you about being thankful. I'm going to tell you a story. I've got 16 minutes here, it says. That's how much room I have in my phone. So it'll give or take, more or less 16 minutes. So, I'm a young cat, right? And I'm introduced to writing. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been writing since I was 5, but it was little shit like any which way but loose. Like it graduated to before fan fiction was fan fiction. I was writing stories about the Transformers. It graduated to me fantasizing like, oh, I get the girl and I marry her and we have babies and her boyfriend dies and I beat him in a rap battle or something. Like it's like that. So I meet a teacher while I'm in a boys' school for some dumb shit. And she encourages me to write. Her name is Miss Henry, and she's like, this is what you should be doing. And I took that with me my whole life. I've always wanted to be a writer. I decided a long time ago, like, I'll never quit my day job. I mean that in the sense that writing is my passion, but I also understand that writing is a passion. And one in like a very few people make it as a writer, you know. But I'm not going to let that deter me from writing. I don't write for popularity. I don't write to be on the New York Times bestseller list or whatever. I write because it is my passion. I have been fortunate enough to be selected to be one of the many people who tune in to whatever is there and can take and put it out there. Like, it's a privilege to be able to do so. So I did it. And using that, a big thing for me always is I try to incorporate things I love with other things that I love so I can love them more, you know. So I had a kid and I wanted to teach him how to read. I wanted to encourage him to read. So I wrote stories about the Power Rangers because I personally was a fan. Perhaps this was me indoctrinating him, probably, but I wrote stories about Power Rangers in the hopes that he would read them. They would encourage him to read. It would be his thing, and he didn't. He just didn't. Excuse me while I scratch my shoulder here. He didn't care at all. And just recently, in the last couple of years, has he come around to, oh yeah, wow, you've got like stuff here. Holy shit, like you did really good shit. And he came to me the other day and wanted to sit down with me and have him and his girl listen to it because he wants to get his girl in on it. So it's like I'm touched and I'm humbled. And he comes to me and he's just like, "Hey, I'm sorry that it took me so long to get into your stuff." And I was like, "Hey, don't worry about it because truth be told, my stuff was kind of trash back in the day. So it's good that he's into it now, but that's not the point." And I'm moved. I'm moved by that. I have been moved quite a few times in the last couple of days, and it could just be because I've been in my feelings because my wife is gone. But yeah, I've been all up in my feelings. Like, I remember being a young lad, early 20s, and father, it would be okay if like girlfriend stayed for a few days, and he was like, yeah, and then she moved right on the fuck in. Like, and then I had another friend who just moved in. Like, he was always like, yeah, sure, whatever. It was always I was gonna sink or swim on my own merits. Like, he always looked out for me for that, even when I didn't deserve it, and I did. Oh my god, I didn't deserve it, but he gave it to me anyway. So now, as I'm now in my 40s and my son is in his 20s, his girl moved in, and I'm moved that I provide such an atmosphere where he wants, it's like she's happy here and she wants to be here with us all the time. Like, that's, I'm glad I foster that for people. And I'm glad to, for me, full circle, to have been the guy who has gone to my father and said that and have him say yes. And I go, hmm. So now for me to be the one to do it to him, to, it's nice. So I've been all in my feelings. I had a really fun talk with my niece because my sister and I, like, I haven't talked about it much here because it's, but I didn't want my sister to be the middleman for my niece and I, where we didn't talk because I needed to go through my sister to do that. So I kind of kept my distance as whatever was happening over there was happening. But we had a really nice talk last night, and I feel so much better about it. I live in a home full of love and mutual respect. And it's funny because it's people say things to make it sound cute and clever or witty, or they say, oh, it's goals. But I can say with some honesty that the name on the checks or the name on the bank accounts are just as arbitrary as the names on the bills and things that need to get done. For example, I got up this morning, went out, and I took care of shit. I was trying to get, so look, I got new curtains. Like, I tried to organize for my wife, and I was running low. So he was like, "Hey, here, use my car." So I took his car and I went out and I was just doing my business like I would do it like if it were my card. I didn't give it any extra thought. It was just, here's something to hit, swipe. That's just the way we think about it. And I even pulled $100 out cash back because we were gonna do the re-up today. Yes, my whole family smokes weed. If you didn't know that by now, like, the fuck. But we ended up not. So I was like, hey, technically, dude, I pulled this cash out on your card. So technically, this is yours. And he was like, oh, no, that's communal, dog. Throw that in the pot. Just when the weed come, the weed come. And that's every single time it happens. Every single time it's acknowledged. It's this tribute to my father who wanted this for me. He wanted us to have this. He tried to foster that environment with my sister and I. And I think it didn't work, and it wasn't because just me. Like, yeah, probably a lot of it was me. I was in my 20s and I was selfish. I'll give you an example. Sorry. I'll give you an example. In my early 20s, maybe not even early 20s, I was young. I got a job at Funco Land. Yeah, I'm showing my age. Funco Land. Before it was GameStop, it was Funco Land. And they was like, "Oh, you have to wear a sweater at work." And I had like this, like a jogging suit sweater, and I was like, "Well, this is a sweater." They were like, "That's not a sweater." I knew, and I was stupid. Like, sweater to me, this is a sweater. What they meant was like professional. Maybe if he had said professional, but like I wasn't into button up shirts back in the day. But I digress. I was working at Funco Land and I got like 4 hours a day, twice a week, if that. Like, it was like, why the fuck am I even here kind of jobs. And that was my comfort zone because it was exactly what I wanted. My father said to me, get a job, help out with the bills. Everybody will help out and it'll be fine. If somebody's a little short, it won't matter. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I went and got the shittiest fucking shit job. And every 2 weeks, my check was like $40. And then I would hand off $20 and be like, look, dude, I gave you half my check. What more do you want? But it's not existent here. Doesn't happen in my house anymore. But that's not the only reason it didn't work. It also didn't work because my sister was a workaholic. She was very, oh, look, I work at Rent Center. I work super hard. Then I'm going to come home and I'm going to clean. Look at all the things that I'm doing. And here, Dad, I'm going to make sure I'm helping. Well, how much do you need? I'm happy to take care of it. But she also, it's like the name on the checks weren't arbitrary for her. Like, she was very much, this is my money because I have worked for it, this is mine. And I'm not saying she was wrong for that, because she was absolutely correct. It was her money, but she should have been looking at it as the money. And she couldn't because I didn't, and I probably didn't because she couldn't. Like, I think that if I had reaped the benefits for a minute and they said, hey, look, see, you see what's happening here? You see how everybody else has to go without more so you can have? That's weird. Nope. I don't even want to say I would have taken it. I wouldn't have. I would have been like, so the fuck what? I'm just sitting in the house. Like, even if I don't do nothing, like the lights ain't no more or less on than they would have been. I was too selfish. I was too selfish. But that's not the case anymore. And my family has risen. We have risen above that shit. And we truly, truly don't care. It's whatever one of us needs, the others just snap to it. Like, it's not even in question. Oh, you need this? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, let's go. Just like that. It's a tribute to my father. Or at least it's the tribute that I'd like to give him. I did it. I did it. I did it. I took your model and did it my way. And it works. It works. This is old man 2.0. And I think he would have to be okay with that because he would want me to be better than him. Like, I want my kid to be better. My kid is better than me. Fuck that. Kari is younger, faster, smarter, more quick-witted. Oh my god, his coding skills are on point. He has a skill in modern society that will take him wherever he needs to go in life. Kari, on paper, statistically, genetically, across the board, better than me. And that, as a father, is my sincerest wish. Why the fuck would I want an average kid? Why would I want a kid who was just like me? Why would I want you to have the same fucking emotional baggage and scars and shit that I have? That's ridiculous. So yes, be better than me. And while we're here with the minute and some odd seconds I got left, real talk between me and you, I don't think my sister is ready to deal with that. She don't want to think that her daughter is better than her, but statistically, she's supposed to be. If you're a good parent, your kids are better than you. They have to be. Otherwise, we're stuck in a rut. What else are you doing? Be better. Do better. I end my rant. I want to end on a happy note. Very, I came here because I am in my feelings. wanted to say I was grateful. I recognize my position in life. I realize that others don't have it as well as I do, who work harder. I understand that there are people who don't work half as hard and have twice as much. But I recognize my station in life. I recognize my privilege, and I am grateful for it. I am thankful for the people involved to help me get to where I'm going because good things keep fucking happening. And that's just how it works. Just how it works. So I'm grateful. And with time to spare, check that out. All in my feelings tonight.